Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the man who stands atop being a Kamen Rider Kabuto SHFiguart! It's Bochama! Kamen Rider Sasword. This fellow, along with Drake, brought a close to the Kamen Rider Kabuto lineup in SHFiguarts, and unlike Drake, Sasword did so in a really excellent way, filled with magnificence and being at the top of what he does. He's got actually quite a few new parts, but, like Drake, he's got some very unique and enormously well done compound eyes. The little scorpion tail ponytail thing, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but in the realm of the Sasword design, it's a very nicely done job. He's also got a lot of unique bits, like the tail design running all the way down to his leg, and then this kind of asymmetrical thing with a removable holster. And this holster being removable, I guess some people might want to leave it off, but I don't really see a reason to take it off. It does stick out quite a bit, but it's so subtle to the eye since it blends in with the purples. It's really hard to get distracted by it, in my opinion. His poseability is more or less unhindered, but he does have a little problem. His shoulders can't really go any higher than this due to the shoulder pads. I think this is mainly because while there's these big outer shoulder pads, there's another shoulder pad inside, and had that been left out, I think there would have been a bit more working room in there. So it's a minor quibble, but really I think that it's nowhere near as limiting as some of the shoulder limitations on Drake, and pieces don't fly off, so that's all well and good. Sasword also sports a sort of pale violet to the usually silver bits on the arms and legs. And it's another thing that helps him kind of stand out slightly on the shelf, although I dare say it's perhaps a little bit too subtle. Sasword also comes with his massive sword, and thanks to his holding things hands, he can hold this pretty solidly. It doesn't really clip in there, it doesn't have the groove in the palm like Gatak does, and I dare say maybe that would have helped it out quite a bit, but nonetheless, it's been pretty solid in there. I haven't had troubles with it falling out of his hands all that often when I'm trying to display him, and it's a really great example of the thing I say about Figuarts who are perhaps a little bit light on accessories is that Sasword comes with everything he needs. There's nothing missing. And that really helps out quite a bit, because thanks to the SHFiguarts poseability, this guy can do a lot of poses with his sword, and especially if you orient the wrist joint to go up and down on here, you can have him point the sword in all manner of directions, or you can have him kind of hold it upwards if he's just holding it down at his side. The possibilities with Sasword are really nice. This guy does everything that Sasword really needs to do. That's not to say that he's without fault, though. There are a few little problems, but before I get to that, I'll show you the rest of his hands. Aside from holding things hands and splayed open hands, he's got fists. Wasn't that an adventure, ladies and gentlemen? So yes, the sword perhaps is a little bit light on his accessory count, but, I really like how this guy turned out, because he's just got so many possibilities, and thanks to the Figuarts body and its slight litheness, he can really get across the upperclassmanship that Tsurugi brings to the table, and Sasword is actually one of my favorite Figuarts releases to date. I think of him as another example of a quintessential Kabuto body release. If you're going to just get a couple of Kabuto guys and you want to skip some, Sasword is one of the last ones to cut off of your list, because this guy accomplishes a lot. The only other big thing to bring up about him, though, is that his Zector's tail, as far as I can tell, doesn't move. Now, maybe it does, and mine is just, like, glued in place with paint, but I've yanked at it here and there, and it doesn't seem to move, and I think that's one of the only major difficulties I have with this release. There's no reason why that shouldn't have been on a hinge, and again, Figuarts is a line I hold to a somewhat higher standard than a lot of the other things that I buy, so a little thing like that is something that I would call a disappointment, but is it something that I would hold up as a reason to skip the guy altogether? Absolutely not. Sasword is a delightful addition to any collection, and if you think he looks cool in any way here, or if you even just kind of think, hey, that sword is neat, maybe if he wasn't so purple, then you need to learn that purple is awesome, and then you need to buy a Sasword. He's one of the best Figuarts out there, and an extremely solid addition to any Kamen Rider collection. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus, bringing you the man who stands atop having swappable hands and compound eyes. I hope this review was helpful to you in some way, and that's another day of Rider Figuarts Week in the can. Kabuto is over, and it's time for us to set our minds back to a long time ago. A long, long time ago. 20th century. Nothing ends the day like a nice, expensive imported bowl of kitsune udon. What are you all still doing here? The day is over. Go and read a book or something. Look, I'm about to have my dinner, alright? I mean, what exactly do you guys want? What are you still hanging out here for? This is harassment. What do you want? Are you waiting for something? I don't really know what you want, Tomo! Satisfied?